What's up, guys? It's Tim from Coastal Life Media, and thank you so much for joining me yet again here in Six Flags Adventureland. First of all, if you are new to this series, I would like to encourage you to subscribe, as we are currently building a park that I am really proud of, and I would love for you to become part of the community, part of the decision-making process for what goes on here in this park and in future parks if all goes well. If you are looking at the screen and you have been paying attention to this series, you can clearly see that there is a giant addition to the park that was not there in the last episode, capping out at 165 feet. Is the tallest coaster in Six Flags Adventureland so far. Goliath, which is a custom Intamin inverting mega coaster. It is something that normally I do not see in real life, but I feel like Intamin, being the mavericks that they are, pun intended, that they would go ahead and create something that was asked for by a park if they had the means to do so. Now, I kind of got a little overboard with this coaster. Once I made the layout, I then laid out the queue, and then I covered the queue, and then I made the station, and before I knew it, I did some details that I normally would do throughout an entire episode, as you can see. So rather than spend the entire episode talking about this, I'm going to show you what I did, and then I'm going to show you what I want to build today. So yeah, so right off the bat, I'm going to tell you about I'm going to start from the outside. Right off the bat, I'm going to show you this queue design, which is literally just average Six Flags queue, where you have the dual cattle pin on the right, and then you have the priority pass to the left. And what I love about how Six Flags makes their queues is that they will make you walk past the priority pass or the flash pass queue, and it'll usually be empty, and then once you get into the normal queue, you'll be like, damn it, I wish I got a flash pass because this line is full. And with the stats of this coaster, it is definitely one of those rides in game. So you have the dual cattle pin. It literally goes back and forth up to this point, and then you go in to the second part, and then you go through like this. The only reason why I did this was because it kind of reminded me of the queue for Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America, which is something that normally I would not have seen in real life. But the last time that we visited the park in April, we actually had to go through the extended queue line, which is something that in all of my years of going to the park, I have never been in that part of the queue for this ride. Even on the busiest days, I have never had to go through that part. But because of social distancing, they put stickers out on 6 feet apart, and to be able to accommodate the full line of riders without spelling out into the midway, they pushed through into the extended queue line. And it's literally like this. You basically, what I'm used to would technically be walking into this part of the queue, going through the cattle pen, and then going into the rest of the queue up into the station. But there is literally a mirrored section of that cattle pen that is behind it, that is off behind into the trees, that if you just get into the normal line, you wouldn't notice it. But if you're in that part of the line, you definitely notice it. So that's basically what I wanted to do here, is emulate that and cover it with some lights and some screens and some music, just to, keep it simple. I did not want it to be anything special. You'll notice that this section of the park is blacktop. It is actually asphalt, and that is done intentional. I feel like parks will save money when they can, and instead of doing concrete all throughout, they will go ahead and do the cheaper option of asphalt, and get do that where they can. And that's literally what you have here. And you also have, since I am just ADDing all over this park, I built a nice little Coke Freestyle booth, which has yet to be finished. I still have some vending machines and stuff that I want to add in there. But yeah, that is something that I wanted to add close to here, since that's something that I didn't do a whole lot of up until now, but it is definitely done a lot in Six Flags parks. Now, if we go up into the station, you'll notice that this station is way longer than a lot of the other stations that I normally build. And that's on purpose, because once you get through the ride, you go through the transfer track area. Rather than adding it to the end of the end of the station or off somewhere else, I put the transfer track to this ride up in the front of the station. You have a nice little maintenance area, which I am really proud of, especially for someone who doesn't really pay a whole lot of attention to transfer tracks. It's kind of cool to me that I was able to think of something like this. In theory, how this transfer track operates is that you have 3 tracks, because you have 3 trains. When you have a train sitting on this track, all these 2 tracks would slide up under this platform, and this 3rd track would align with the train and send it up through the course, and be able to add it into the into the ride. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I have no idea how that would work, unless you just move this one slightly to the side. And well, yeah, you could just move this one slightly to the side and then be able to get the one off of the first track. But I guess it's because I've been overthinking this while I was building it, and then I feel like I missed something. But yeah, it's basically a simple procedure. So when the park is not in operation, or overnight, you would have 3 trains just sitting right here in this area. You have a maintenance area where you can work on the trains if you so need to. You have a nice little area where you can do all of that. There's an indoor booth, but yeah, you would basically access this area of the platform just like you would access the normal the normal station. There is a nice little gate right here that you would have to have a key for, and up to here you have a way to access the catwalk, since you don't have a catwalk right here. So basically that's how I built this ride, and I'm really proud of it. You have speakers and lights going all the way up the lift hill that tops off at exactly 165 feet, and you can literally see how it towers over the rest of the rides in the park. The only thing that comes close is maybe Superman, that is 135 feet, which is about the same as the spikes for the boomerang. But other than that, that's it, because our Arrow coaster is only about maybe 100, not even a full 100 feet. Might be 70. Actually, I think it's about 110. So yes, this is definitely the tallest ride in the park, and I am definitely proud of it. There's a lot of more work that I need to do in this area, but the reason why I made this video is because I wanted to do something over here. Since I rearranged how the path works over here, I kind of pushed it back because I wanted this to be kind of a focal feature of this area rather than just something you pass. So rather than have the food court be on this side of the path where I was originally planning on doing it, I'm actually going to do it in this inner area right here, so that possibly, if I wanted to, there could be another coaster that would kind of end this little area right here, maybe an L-shaped RMC or something like that, because I was thinking about it last night before I went to bed. And one thing that I definitely want to do is to have at least one themed area. And I was thinking that maybe we could go all out with a DC Comics thing, or we could do a Western thing. But the DC Comics thing is not necessarily practical, since we already have DC rides sprinkled around the park. So I'm thinking maybe a Western area with log flume and a GCI wooden coaster or something like that. So I'm thinking about doing that. But one thing that I was thinking is that if I do decide to do a Western area over here, I did not want the RMC and the wooden coaster to be right next to each other. I did not want the two similar ride experiences to be over here. So that actually would help me out to put the RMC over here and have maybe a tunnel for the train to go over and go around. Because I do want the train to be its own experience and not just something that goes all the way around the park. So, with all of that being said, today I want to work on the food court area right here. I definitely want this to be something that represents a place where you can come and sit and relax with everybody and get something to eat and just take a break, because if you've ever been to a Six Flags park or any amusement park ever, you know that at a certain point you're going to want to take a break, and this is where you're going to want to take it. It's going to be a nice outdoor patio area, and that's what I want to do here. So I will let you know how it goes in the next update. And as you can see, I have already come up with a theme for this food court. I named it the Hall of Justice because, I mean, like I said earlier in this episode, there is DC references all over this park. So rather than make it one themed area, I'd rather it be all throughout, and then just do a theme, maybe like one theme somewhere else. But yeah, I basically went with kind of like an open mouth facing building, and then you have kind of like a hub for workers, for staff back here. I did not roof the building because I wanted to show off how this building works. So you have the facilities, the food stalls up front, and then you have staff stalls in the back, and that's basically how it does. You basically walk around, staff walks around, just to make sure that this building is fully staffed with people. A lot of times, if you don't put a staff building close to a building that you want to be serviced regularly, it won't be, because staff usually tend to hang out closer to where the staff buildings are. They will go throughout the park, but it takes way longer to do so. But yeah, so I basically covered the area with trees so that the people that are eating do have privacy. You're not just sitting there in the faces of people that are walking by that are not eating. So it's literally like your own little area where you're eating, and not in the way of the people that are walking past. And I love it because, for one, it's not a one way in, one way out type of place. I hate those because it's always crowded in those areas. So there are several ways to get in, which kind of help with crowd control. But the main thing is that one thing that I said in an earlier episode is that when you have a major attraction or something that's going to draw in a lot of people, you want to make sure that it's off the main path. You want to make sure that it's off the main path for one, crowd control, because people tend to crowd around major attractions, major things that are going to draw you in, and food courts are definitely one of those things. Another thing is that you want to make sure that you are not in the way of those using that main path. I can imagine, because another thing is, since I'm planning on putting a ride right here, now that I've fleshed out this little area, I'm planning on putting an RMC right here. which is definitely going to draw a lot of people because I'm going to try to take my time and do a very creative layout for this. So you're going to want to be able to space out your access hubs so that you're not overcrowding in one specific area and you don't have a bottleneck effect that happens over here. So other than that, I really love this. I'm loving the back section of this park so far. I did have to cut off this area of the path to figure out how I wanted to do this. But I am loving it because it's not flooded with rides and attractions. It's literally just food, and I'm planning on doing some shops back here and some other things like that. And that's kind of what I want this back area to be, besides the RMC, is basically where we can get back to that money grabbing part of the Six Flags culture. Because although they're all about thrills, they're also about bottom lines, and bottom lines don't happen without money. We need money coming into this park, and right now there's just not a lot of it coming in. Of course, one thing that I did do in the game is the entrance to the park is $39.99, which is just about the standard entrance fee to Six Flags Parks. It's the standard entrance fee to Great America. It's the standard entrance fee for what I can see at Magic Mountain, for Great Adventure. I'm not sure about Discovery Kingdom. I'm not sure about that because it might be a little bit more because they have way more to offer. As a matter of fact, I'm not 100% sure about Discovery Kingdom because they also have the Safari, and that comes with a lot that you have to pay for and cover with costs. Yes, I'm not sure if they're covered under the Zoological Society, which usually helps with funding for certain types of attractions that involve animals, because Discovery Kingdom and Great Adventure do involve animals. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not even sure about SeaWorld and Busch Gardens, those parks that also have animals in there. I'm not sure if they're covered under that society where they are able to get funding for habitats and stuff like that. So I'm not sure. That is definitely something worth looking up if you guys want to look it up, and let me know in the comments. Are they covered? Is an amusement park that has animals within it, are they covered under the Zoological Society, which will provide them funding for certain things, such as animal habitats and well care and all of that. Other than that, this is what I wanted to show you guys today. The episode is already pretty long, so I'm not going to make it that much longer. I just wanted to, first of all, say thank you so much for the support. Thank you also to everyone who leaves comments in the bottom section of these videos. Also, thank you to those who watch the videos all the way through. I greatly appreciate it. It's definitely something that I can see, and it also helps the channel greatly. So I appreciate that. If you haven't done so already, I would love to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel, as not only does it help out the channel, but it actually is a huge source of encouragement for someone who puts out videos on a regular basis. It really does kind of give me a boost. I've noticed the new subscribers to the channel. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for the comments and words of encouragement. I greatly appreciate it. One guy, months after my 25th birthday coaster mini-series, just sent me a message saying one thing, happy birthday, happy late birthday, and then he gave me a beautiful encouraging message that kind of got me a little emotional, if I'm honest with you, because you don't necessarily have to do that. I'm not a known person, so for you to take time out of your day and encourage a YouTuber that's just trying, that means a lot. So you know who you are. Thank you so much if you're watching. For the rest of you, once again, I'd love to encourage you to become a part of the Coaster Life Media community, which is something that I am actively trying to build here. You can find us on social media at Coaster Life Media, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, although I don't really post on Facebook that much, but the main place to find us is Instagram and Twitter. Other than that, thank you so much for joining us here in this series. Once again, my name is Tim from Coaster Life Media, and I would love to see you in the next video. Bye.